How to seduce her without touching her. If I asked you right now what it means to seduce a woman, what would come to your mind? Be honest. For most men, the answer would be something physical. The touch, the kiss, the hand sliding across her skin. But the truth is this: the greatest seduction doesn't even start with your hands. It starts before you ever lay a finger on her. It's in your presence, in your energy, in the way you communicate without saying too much. That's what pulls her in. That's what makes her crave more. And that's what separates an average man from a man who truly understands the art of desire. And let me tell you something blunt. Most men fail here. They think seduction is all about being aggressive, about making bold moves, about rushing straight into physicality. But when you rush, you kill the spark, you kill the anticipation, you kill the very thing that would have made her remember you long after the night is over. Seduction without touching is about learning how to make her heart race, her mind wander, and her body crave you, without lifting a single finger. And once you master that, you'll never chase women again. They'll chase the feeling you give them, because very few men know how to create it. So listen carefully, because I'm about to walk you through 7 subtle but powerful ways you can seduce her without touching her. 7 ways to draw her in, to make her feel something deeper than attraction, something primal, something unforgettable. But before we go into them, I want you to do one thing. Keep an open mind, because some of what I'm about to share may not sound like what you've been taught about masculinity. Some of it might challenge your ego. Some of it might even make you uncomfortable. But discomfort is where growth begins. If you're serious about becoming a man, women don't just want, but respect, then hit that subscribe button right now. Because what we talk about here on the Alpha Mindset isn't for the weak. It's for men who want to reclaim their power, build unshakable confidence, and embody a kind of strength that goes far beyond appearances. So if you're ready, let's get into the first lesson. Conclusion. Seduction without touching isn't a trick. It isn't a line. It isn't a shortcut. It's the art of being, the gravity of presence, the art of silence, the command of eye contact, the mastery of your voice, the subtle power of restraint, the mystery of unpredictability, and the strength of self-control. These are the 7 ways you can make her feel more desired than she's ever felt, without even laying a finger on her. And here's the final truth. The men who master this never chase women again, because women crave what so few men can give them: energy that is steady, masculine, disciplined, unforgettable. So ask yourself one last question. Are you going to be just another man she forgets, or the man she never stops thinking about? If this message hit you, if it woke something up inside you, then make sure you subscribe to the Alpha Mindset right now. Because this is where we strip away the weakness, the noise, the lies, and rebuild men into something powerful. Stay sharp, stay disciplined, and I'll see you in the next one. 1. The gravity of presence. Do you know what the rarest thing in this modern world is? A man who is truly present. Most men don't even realize it, but they live distracted. Their eyes are glued to their phones, their minds are scattered, their energy is weak, and women feel that. They feel when your attention is divided. They feel when you're in front of them physically, but your mind is somewhere else. Presence is magnetic because it's rare, and when you master presence, you don't need to touch her. You pull her in with the weight of your focus. Think about it. When was the last time someone gave you their full attention, without interruption, without glancing at their screen, without mentally drifting off? Probably rare. And if you think it's rare for you as a man, imagine how rare it is for her. Every woman is bombarded daily by shallow attention. Men who want her body but not her essence. Men who speak but don't listen. Men who look but don't see. Presence cuts through all of that. When you look her in the eye, not in a creepy, overbearing way, but with calm steadiness, you communicate volumes without saying a word. You're saying, "I see you. I'm not distracted. I'm here," and that alone can make her feel something she hasn't felt in years. It's why Marcus Aurelius said, "The soul becomes dyed with the color of its thoughts." If your thoughts are scattered, your presence will be weak. But if your thoughts are calm, centered, controlled, your presence will be heavy, grounding, irresistible. Let me challenge you with a question. When you walk into a room, do people feel you enter, or do you blend into the background? Because seduction without touching starts with the gravity of your presence. A woman should feel you before you even say a word. 2. The art of silence. Most men are terrified of silence. They rush to fill every gap in conversation with words, jokes, compliments, anything to avoid the discomfort. But here's the secret. Silence, when used with intention, is one of the most seductive tools you have. Why? Because silence creates tension, and tension is the foundation of desire. Think about a movie scene where two characters are about to kiss. What makes it powerful isn't the kiss itself, it's the pause before it. That moment of unspoken energy where both of them are waiting, wondering, wanting. That's what makes the release so powerful. If the kiss happened instantly, without that silence, it wouldn't be nearly as memorable. When you can sit in silence with a woman, when you don't rush to fill the air, you're showing her something few men ever show, comfort in your own skin. You're telling her, without words, I don't need to perform, I don't need to entertain you. I'm just here, and I'm enough. That confidence, that patience, that restraint, it makes her lean in. It makes her chase the words you're not saying. Seneca once said, "We suffer more often in imagination than in reality." And silence works the same way. When you hold back, when you let her imagination run, she begins to fill in the gaps with her own thoughts, her own desires. She starts wondering what you're thinking, what you're feeling, what you'll do next. And that wonder is intoxicating. So let me ask you, are you the man who kills tension by oversharing, by overtalking, by being afraid of silence? Or are you the man who knows how to let the moment breathe, who knows that sometimes the most seductive thing you can say is nothing? Because the art of silence doesn't just make her listen to your words, it makes her listen to you. 3. The command of eye contact. If presence is the foundation, then eye contact is the spark that lights the fire. Most men misuse eye contact. They either avoid it completely, looking away out of nervousness, or they overdo it, staring too intensely and coming off as creepy or aggressive. But the truth is, eye contact, when used with mastery, is one of the most seductive tools you have, and you never even need to touch her. There's a reason ancient writers describe the eyes as windows to the soul. When you look into a woman's eyes with calm, steady control, you bypass the surface and connect with something deeper. You tell her, without words, I'm not afraid of you. I'm not afraid of what I feel, and I'm not afraid of what you feel either. That kind of confidence is rare. That's why it captivates. But here's the key. It's not about staring. It's about holding. Hold her gaze for just a moment longer than most men would. Not so long that it feels forced, but long enough that she notices it. Long enough that she feels a shift in her body. Long enough that she wonders, what is he thinking? That small, subtle act plants a seed of desire. Epictetus said, it's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters. Eye contact is the same. It's not just about looking, it's about how you react when her eyes meet yours. Do you flinch and look away? Or do you hold steady, relaxed, calm, as if you already know you're in control? That difference determines whether she feels your strength or senses your weakness. Let me leave you with this question. When you lock eyes with her, are you just looking, or are you communicating? Because the strongest men know that eye contact says everything words never could. 4. The mastery of your voice. If presence pulls her in and eye contact connects you, your voice is what wraps around her. Your voice is more than sound. It's energy, it's rhythm, it's the vibration that carries not just your words, but your intent. And if you think your voice doesn't matter, you've never paid attention to the way a woman reacts when a man speaks with depth, control, and certainty. Most men rush their words. They speak too fast, too high, too anxious, and women feel that. They feel the insecurity behind it. But when you slow down, when you lower your tone just slightly, when you let your words breathe, you're doing more than talking. You're seducing. Because you're showing her that you're not in a rush, that you're why not desperate, that you're not trying to prove yourself. You're comfortable, you're grounded, you're in control. Think of a great speaker. Think of someone like James Earl Jones, whose voice carries authority without ever needing to shout. Or Morgan Freeman, whose calm delivery makes every word sound profound. Their voices seduce not because of what they say, but because of how they say it. And the same principle applies to you. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "The soul becomes dyed with the color of its thoughts." When your thoughts are calm and steady, your voice carries that. When your thoughts are anxious and scattered, your voice carries that too. That's why seduction begins inside of you. You can't fake it. She'll hear it in your tone immediately. So ask yourself this: does your voice make her lean in, or does it make her tune out? Because if you can master your voice, its pace, its tone, its rhythm, you'll realize you don't need to touch her to make her feel something. She'll feel it just by listening. 5. The subtle power of restraint. Here's the part that separates boys from men. Because most men think seduction is about doing more. More compliments, more jokes, more moves, more effort. But true seduction isn't about more, it's about less. It's about restraint. It's about holding back when every part of you wants to rush forward. Why is restraint so powerful? Because it creates scarcity. And scarcity creates value. When you don't give everything away immediately, your attention, your words, your intentions, you create a vacuum. And that vacuum pulls her in. She starts wondering what you're thinking, what you're feeling, what you're holding back. That curiosity becomes desire. Think of the Stoics. They mastered restraint not because they lacked desire, but because they refused to be controlled by it. Seneca said, "It is not that we have a short time to live, but that we waste much of it." Most men waste desire by spending it recklessly. They give away all their energy at once, hoping for instant gratification. The wise man holds back. He chooses when and how to reveal himself. And that's what makes him unforgettable. Restraint doesn't mean coldness. It doesn't mean playing games. It means showing just enough to spark her interest, but not so much that she loses the thrill of discovery. It's like a novel. You don't reveal the ending on the first page. You build, you hold, you make her want more. So let me hit you with this question. Are you the man who feeds her instantly and leaves her satisfied but forgettable? Or are you the man who leaves her hungry for more, thinking about you long after you're gone? Because the man who masters restraint never has to chase. She'll chase him because she can't stop wondering what else he's holding back. By now, you can already see the pattern. Seduction without touching isn't about external tricks. It's about who you are, how you carry yourself, how you discipline your energy. Presence, silence, eye contact, your voice, restraint, these are the foundations. But there are 2 more pieces to this puzzle, and they're the ones that separate a man she remembers for a night from a man she never forgets. Let's finish strong. 6. The mystery of unpredictability. Nothing kills desire faster than predictability. Most men operate on a script. Compliment her, crack a joke, buy her a drink, try to escalate. She's seen it 100 times, maybe 1,000. And when she can predict your every move, she loses interest instantly. Desire thrives in the unknown. It's curiosity that makes her lean in. It's uncertainty that makes her heart race. Mystery doesn't mean being confusing or manipulative. It means refusing to be fully figured out. It means you don't lay all your cards on the table at once. You let her discover you piece by piece. You surprise her, not with flashy gestures, but with depth she didn't expect. One moment you're calm and grounded, the next you're playful and witty. One moment you're listening with intensity, the next you're challenging her assumptions. She never quite knows what's coming, and that's what keeps her locked in. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "Look beneath the surface. Let not the several quality of a thing nor its worth escape you. The same applies here. Mystery is about having layers, about cultivating depth. It's about being a man whose life, values, and passions run deeper than what's visible on the surface. Because when she senses depth in you, she can't help but want to explore. So here's the question. Are you predictable? Easy to read? Easy to categorize? Or are you the man who keeps her guessing? The man whose layers unfold slowly? The man who becomes more interesting the more time she spends with you? Because seduction without touching thrives on curiosity, and curiosity is born of mystery. 7. The strength of self-control. At the core of everything we've talked about is this: self-control. Without it, nothing else works. You can't have presence without control over your distractions. You can't hold silence without control over your nerves. You can't master eye contact without control over your fear. You can't use your voice effectively without control over your emotions. You can't practice restraint without control over your impulses. And you certainly can't create mystery if you're a slave to your need for validation. Self-control is the essence of masculinity. It's what separates men who crumble under pressure from men who command respect effortlessly. Women feel it immediately. A man without self-control comes across as desperate, needy, reactive. A man with self-control comes across as grounded, powerful, untouchable. And here's the seductive secret. A woman trusts her desire more with a man who can control himself than with a man who can't. The Stoics built their entire philosophy on this principle. Epictetus said, "No man is free who is not master of himself." And seduction is no different. If you can't master yourself, you can't master the moment. And if you can't master the moment, you'll never make her feel the depth of desire that only comes from being with a man who is in full control of his energy. So here's my final challenge to you. When you feel the urge to rush, to push, to take, can you hold back? Can you control yourself long enough to let the moment grow on its own? Because if you can, you won't just seduce her, you'll captivate her. Conclusion. Seduction without touching isn't a trick. It isn't a line. It isn't a shortcut. It's the art of being. The gravity of presence, the art of silence, the command of eye contact, the mastery of your voice, the subtle power of restraint, the mystery of unpredictability, and the strength of self-control. These are the 7 ways you can make her feel more desired than she's ever felt, without even laying a finger on her. And here's the final truth. The men who master this never chase women again. Because women crave what so few men can give them, energy that is steady, masculine, disciplined, unforgettable. So ask yourself one last question. Are you going to be just another man she forgets, or the man she never stops thinking about? If this message hit you, if it woke something up inside you, then make sure you subscribe to the Alpha Mindset right now. Because this is where we strip away the weakness, the noise, the lies, and rebuild men into something powerful. Stay sharp, stay disciplined, and I'll see you in the next one.